Ho! Greetings, one and all. Oh, you done it this time. You done it now. You have stumbled across The Tap, the Trial and Error podcast. I am your host, Aaron. With me, little Kit Kat likes to... She's the co-host, but she's a squirrely little bastard. She'll be stepping all over the keyboard and causing absolute ruckus all the while. Speaking of a while, it has been a while since I've... tapped on with you guys. It's what's tapping, and get away from that laptop, you goon. So cute. We'll see her eventually, but yes, here I am, very much, to explain the relative absence. It's been probably like a solid month since I've potted. I don't know, life happens, and generally I have to be I like to be in a good mood when I podcast, bring some energy, but sometimes life has other plans. You get through it. Hey, had a rough patch, whatever, but here I am now, a stoyaki, ready to roll with renewed vigor and just, I don't know, juice to catch you up, a little tap recap, life update of what's been going on. I've been on some rascally adventures, and I want to share it with you guys. I mean, look at me. I got books over here. I got all this funny art over here. My legs crossed. I took off my stinky-ass socks. Here I am. This is just going to be a one-take pod. Usually I go about 4 or 5 just to say the right things. The intro, it's got to be perfect, but I could give a F today. But, oh, what's this? What's this? Oh, my goodness. It is the drink of the day. It is Bird Dog blackberry flavored whiskey, and I'm gonna tell you why I got it, because my favorite liqueur growing up, not as a lad, but of age to drink, I thought Smirnoff blackberry was all the rage. It was sweet, it was delicious, and I didn't know any better. And by God, still think it's tasty. I'll take a sip along with an insulin shot, because it will give you diabetes. Probably like this as well, and it is in a custom-made glass. Thank you, Claire, for the glass. It is, oh my God, it's etched in. It's a quote from Captain Picard of the Starship Enterprise. I'm not entitled to ramble on about something everyone knows. Great quote, Captain Picard, aka Patrick Stewart. God bless him.
Potatoes. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
It is certainly sweet. Delightful, dangerous. And boy howdy, let's just jump right into this podcast. A little recap what's been going on in life. You guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and a little shout out to the crew at Hoobies Brewing. The workers are nice, but people showed up to trivia the other day. We had a full house. Kelly was there, Bradley Lou, Austin Calvert, Chuck, Rachel, Steph, my goodness, Brentley Wiseman. There's somebody calling me from back of. I'm not answering that call. I'm podcasting right now. How am I supposed to listen to a call? Anywho's here. So sorry, that phone call is just distracting the hell out of me. Go away. Get out. Oh, the lights are too bright. They're too bright. Turn them off. Never too bright for me. So let's see here. I took some notes. Yeah. Trivia has been an absolute blast at Hoobies. 2 o'clock on Sundays. It is free to play, hosted by yours truly, the charismatic glow that is me. Come and get you some. You play for gift cards. First place, $20 Hoobies gift card. Second place, $15. Third place gets $10 Hoobie gift cards. Fourth place gets a whole lot of nothing because you're a f***ing loser. You don't deserve rewards. You're not getting a participation award. Not here, not at Hoobies, not anywhere. Don't care. You got to earn it. You got to earn your keep. Earn your keep. So yes, go to Hoobies Trivia at 2 o'clock with your boy. What do we have here? Yes, going on little missions. So I always thought, okay, it's always been like a battle if I'm gonna go out by myself or like with people. Usually I like to go out with other individuals. Going up by myself, I'm like, wow, what a loser I am. I have no friends. Nobody wants to go out with me. I'm not cool enough. I'm not worth the time.
Wow.
Well, I've been working on that little just self-confidence, little solo missions. And pre-COVID, the last movie I saw was Ad Astra, starring Brad Pitt, like a very forgettable movie. The only reason I remember it because the last one I saw before COVID. But I went by myself for the first time, and I went in Stony Baloney, but I was like, all right, whatever, why not have fun by myself? And I've been trying to get more used to doing that over the past many months, and gosh, you just gotta be open to meeting people and talking and just letting life happen while you're out and about. And the first one, I've always wanted to go to a Renaissance fair, and I went to the Folsom Renaissance Fair solo, and I was looking at hotels, wildly expensive, and I was like, it was over $100 for anything nearby, a couple hundred the closer you got to the Folsom area. I was in Rancho Cordova, about 15-minute Uber ride, so I was like, screw it, why not? Check Google Satellite. Seemed as if it was not the stabbiest of places ever. Get there, I went and got like this nice vest. I had no idea what to dress up as. I even looked at YouTube videos of what to expect for your first Renaissance fair. I was about it. I've been about it. I've just been very apathetic and not cashed in on this ambition to go to Renaissance fair. I said, screw it. I'm at a point in my life, I'm very open to new experiences. I'm in a very transformative phase in life. I'm just ready to try these things outside of my comfort zone, like going to a Renaissance fair by myself. So I went to the Halloween store, Spirit Halloween in Vacaville. I got this nifty vest. Kind of looks like steampunky, just a little button-up, sleeveless button-up. It looks dope, might I add. I wore my Grandpa Jack's bolo tie the day prior at Chad and Megan's engagement party. Shout out to Chad and Megan. And in this case, I loosened it up. It was a medallion, and I got some leather or pleather arm bracers, just filling the part. I had this backpack. I actually got this. I brought this out on my back, my little carrying case. This is from Africa. It was made in Africa. Got it in 8th grade because some guy came in and gave us this little lecture and handed out these things, and I got this hand-woven bag from Africa. It's still holding up. It's fantastic. And I had boots on and rather tight pants. But goddamn, do I look good in these tight pants. So I go to the hotel, check in, have a good conversation with the receptionist there, because I'm charming as hell. And it's fun just having conversations with random people who are just down to talk. That's a foreshadowing for what I'm going to talk about later in this episode. But I go back up to my room. I get there around 9:45. The Ren Fair starts at 10. And I start swigging a little bit of vodka. I had vodka and light purple Powerade, baby. It was a nice combo.
Nice.
Maybe took a gummy. And part of me is like, damn, do I try to sneak in some of my vape pen or whatever? I'm like, I don't want to get kicked out of my first Ren Fair. So I opted to just play by the rules, not try to smuggle in any alcohol or outside this and that contraband.
Naughty.
And so, look who's come back to the tap. It's Kit Kat. Yeah, anyways. So, had a nice Uber ride over, shot the lady driving, and I'm stuck in line. It's a pretty long line, but it's only getting longer, and I'm glad I got there when I did. Traffic was getting backed up. It's at this kind of zoo-ish park area in Folsom, and I'm standing in line. I start talking to people. I meet Joy and this other gal. They're both just friends, freshly graduated at Chico State. They're super cool. Met Maddie and Lori, a couple teachers from Grass Valley, and we're just shooting the shit all down the line. We part ways. We go. There's different booths. There's everybody's dressed up. So many different flavors and walks of life. It was fantastic. I was amongst my people, and there's just so many like little camps set up and like actors using an old loom to make clothing. There's only one bar stand, like one beer stand. It was ridiculous. That line, I was standing that for like about 45 minutes, and boy howdy, it was worth it. Just double fisting the entire time. The food lines, I was warned that the food and drink lines would be long, and those rumors are absolutely true. You will be waiting for quite some time, and I'm glad had my intoxication beforehand, but it was wearing off. I'm like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do? Enjoy this sober? Like some asshole? Well, I did, and it was great because I'm seeing demonstrations of swordplay, like people fighting, scrimmaging. There is like the King's Guard marching with the Queen walking through. There was like a theme and a story. Well, the theme's obviously Renaissance, very medieval. There was people dressed up as pirates, but I digress. I think there was like a storyline going on with who the Queen was, the King, what have you, but they all went through, and it was cool. Just hear ye, just feeling nice and buzzed, and a nice temperate afternoon in Folsom. Walked around, and there was jousting. Went to jousting. There was a arena, like an amphitheater type arena, looking down on it. Has to be like a rodeo coliseum, and it's just open air and just cool to see these guys, kind of like medieval times. If you ever been near in LA, medieval times, these guys are jousting. The two are talking, just two guys. The good guy, he was an asshole. He knocked over we were cheering for the Black Knight, and the good guy, he knocked over his flag and everything. I'm like, what is this? Well, guess what? The Black Knight not only bested the good guy, the Blue Knight, in skill. They jousted. Black Knight won. They started fighting on their feet in the dirt kicking up. They're sweating. The swords are singing. The axes are singing. And then at one point, they set their weapons on fire. And I'm like, this is a $20 ticket. I'm watching guys fight each other with flaming weapons. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Unbelievable. I didn't really get any food there. I was like, well, beer has food value. So I drank the beer. But the friends that I made, like, I will ding the Folsom Renaissance Fair on this. They tried to go out and sell flags, little cheap ass little silk flags to cheer on your champion for $5 a pop. Get out of here with that. I get you got to make your money, your due, but I didn't fall for it. Didn't do it. Jousting, there's a little bit of dressage play, which was really cool. This lady came out with this beautiful black horse. All the horses there were rescues, and she goes side to side, maneuvers the horse in such a cool way, like moving diagonally. And I guess dressage, like the roots of it is to have better trained cavalry horses. So you would see the guy that was talking was saying, you would see in battle 500 horses all like moving diagonally so they could better maneuver in battle if they need to quickly flank or whatever. Their movements, it's like, I've only seen one horse at a time. Shout out to Maddie Kent Dressage. I've only seen a little bit of dressage, but to see a whole battalion of horses, cavalry, moving side to side in sequence flawlessly, I'd be shitting my pants if I was just, a spearman. It was just so cool to see such an immersive and awesome, just break from reality. Going to this Renaissance fair, people were dressed up. There's some people dressed as normies. I saw one guy dressed up as Jin Sakai from Ghost of Tsushima. Give him I gave him a nod, said, man, I love the outfit. You just complimenting each other. People are going all out. There's some amazing costumes. This one fairy lady had just a pole with a giant dandelion. I'm like blowing at it, and she's like, you want one? I was like, sure. Just gave me this metal just wire with dandelion fluff on it, and I was just walking around with that half the day. It was just cool. Everybody's in a good mood, dressed up, being themselves, being true to themselves, and you're just in a good vibration area. Not too packed. I guess they had problems with overcrowding last year, but I was just meeting people, talking to people. Towards the end of the day, I was playing Pirate Give. There's a pirate section of the festival, and I went the fair, and went and talked to this good looking older lady, and she's teaching me how to play these different games. And then I played her grandsons in Liar's Dice, and I was one of the normies that got to stay a little bit after the fair closed, because whatever, the game was going on longer, and I guess all of them go and party in the parking lot afterwards for the weekend that they're there. Got my ass whooped by this kid in Liar's Dice. Defeated his brother. It was just us three playing, but alas, the kid was a fantastic liar, even better Liar's Dice player. Yeah, blackberry whiskey, my goodness. But that was awesome. Ended up going back to the hotel, changing. I should have stayed in my studs, man. I should have stayed in my outfit, because I went to I feel like Ubering anywhere 20 more minutes away. The Lyft prices were getting or the prices were just, the later it gets on a Saturday night, they're gonna get expensive. So I just walked to this karaoke bar. I was like, ooh, this will be fun. I get in there. It is so hood, so ghetto. Like, yeah, there's football games going on. Like the TVs, I thought there'd be people singing. It's one of those places where you can rent a room and do karaoke in there with your friends. And I saw some people in there, but I'm in there. I'm seeing a lot of neck tattoos, a lot of unscrupulous characters, it's like I'm at Mos Eisley Spaceport, you know? I'm just assuming some random ugly guy is gonna bump me and tell me he doesn't like me. And then his friend's gonna say, I don't like you either. You better watch yourself. We're wanted men in 5 counties. That never happened. I just had a drink, and like all my social my social battery was depleted, and these people just looked ghetto. There are some quote unquote hood rats. This one girl just in these, you can't even call them Daisy Dukes. They were like a sliver of denim, black girl, and her guts hanging out the front, her like 9/10 of her ass just flopping out with a bikini top on. I'm like, girl, I could use some of that confidence. God damn, there's just hood rats of all different flavors and walks of life in there, and it's like, and it just kind of sketched me out. I'm like, man, I don't feel like getting stabbed today. So I walked back to my hotel and called it a night. Yes, that's what I did. Did not socialize with the hood rats. Well, what else? Pirate Games, Ghetto Karaoke Bar, Carnitas Festival. I mean, I went out, let's see, shout out to Emily Rivas. She was out. Justin Contreras was out. So was Greg Contreras, who said, oh, I'm not going to go out. He went out, and it was just a ruckus. Good time, the Carnitas Festival next year. I'm going to push for them to get some luchadors, have a little exhibition in Lucha Libre out there with like a makeshift ring. I think it would be a hoot. But there's a ton of people out there. There's dancers, some folklorico. It's just this type of dancing in the Mexican culture. Legit bandas and food and overpriced food. Shout out to El Pueblo. I mean, it was good, but they're making a killing. Drunk people like myself are gonna pay the piper. But it was a great time, Carnitas Festival. So not so much alone, but I did go to the Napa bars. And I always thought the Napa bars were just a stuffy, stuck-up, pretentious place where old whiteys go and drink their wine and look down their noses at everybody else. Skylar and Mo went there for their anniversary. They went to First Street, and they highly recommended it. So I said, screw it, I will go. Vamos. So I rented an Airbnb in American Canyon because the hotel's nothing under $300 to stay in Napa itself. Absurd. So I it was a mere $120 to stay at at an Airbnb. Look at me rolling the dice, the possibility of me getting laid, which I didn't. But I have since trying. Let me find these words. Trying not to let getting laid be the end-all be-all if my night out by myself was a measure of success, because I had an absolute blast. Did I get the poontang? No, I got no poontang. But that doesn't matter, because I went out to First Street, went to the Napa Yard, and this time I went tequila and purple Gatorade. And it was just moving and grooving, a little edible. I had my Lyft driver come over, dope dude from Fiji. Just shot the shit with him for a minute. No accent, just cool dude. I go out and just talk to people, get a beer. I'm talking to people in line in the bathroom. I'm talking to old stars. Is the seat taken? Listen to this music. And people are just, there were so many revels, the good vibes. And I was just in my PlayStation shirt. So I was feeling myself. It's like, there's no reason to be nervous. I have a goddamn PlayStation shirt on. So I went and talked to people, and there's looking over the river. There's a nice railing. I went over, saw an older couple. Like, hey, how you guys doing? Where are you from? Blah blah blah, and just met and talked to so many people. I had a beer, and then I was like, all right, I'm gonna head down First Street, see what's good. Walked over the river, and just went up and down. Went and got some food. The Palisades, it was okay, but I mean, wildly overpriced. But along the way, I met some Hispanic gals. A couple didn't speak English, but this one, like the mom of the group, she was chilling. Like, I think I met them at the yard, and I saw them, like, they went into the restaurant, or they were in before me. I didn't know they were there. And after my meal, I got talked to the waitress. Started talking about writing and like the tattoo. She had a willow tree. I'm like, oh, I wrote a story called Willow Tree, blah, blah, blah. Just making conversation. Then two couples that were at the Napa Yard were sitting across. I'm like, hey, I'm at a table by myself. Not like a goon watching Coach Prime and his boys play. But I was just waving to people that I'd met that evening. The ladies got up like, hey, you should have came and ate with us. We tried to get your attention. I'm like, I'm sorry. I was pretty plastered at this point. Luckily, there is a Starbucks downtown Napa. Got an Americano and totally just livened up my spirits. Walked all the way down. Not a crazy long walk. There's like a rooftop bar, and I only ventured to about half of First Street. Went to, it's like called Butter Wine. It's kind of a unique label. It's called Butter. They had jam. That's the name of their wines, that fancy. But there's a huge gaping open window space. A guy setting up audio equipment. I said, hey, when's the music start? He said about 10 minutes. So I went inside, plopped my ass down at the bar. Excuse me. Very small, intimate venue. And these two old these white folks, the young white folk, just started strimming their, oh my God, what were they called? The Live Oaks. The Live Oaks. I said, y'all from Live Oak? They said, nah. Damn. But I sat next to this dude. He had a camo vest on and a hat. And he said, oh, he works here, but he also does tours. I think his name was Steven. And I looked at the menu, and the cheapest thing was a Jello shot for $7. And the next, taste of wine was like 21. I'm like, damn. I just kind of slid away. I was already pretty trashed, letting the coffee set in. And the guy's like, oh, he just slid me his glass of wine. And he had, got this for free over here. I'm like, whatever. Did he roofie it? No, he did not. But I was like, well, thank you, sir. I just sipped on it. It was a good heavy pour. Sipped on it, enjoyed conversation. He left, watched the music, and just me removing expectations made the night so much more incredible. I have let expectations destroy vacations. Half of vacations are just an experience that I otherwise would have enjoyed so much more if I didn't expect it to be more so, or just something astronomical. And then the night ends in an orgy with 20 ladies and me. Well, I'm not Wilt Chamberlain. It's fine. And nor am I Goy. Shout out to Goy, Taylor Lim. I used his real name. Ha! And it was just, I remember thinking to myself, listening to this music, like, wow, my soul meter is totally increasing right now. And as I kept on walking, there was a nice town square area. This guy was singing Frank Sinatra. Couples were dancing. There's lights, music. It was just awesome to be around, just talking around to people. And I'm walking down the street. At one point, there's this gal chilling with this baby cow, this calf. And I'm like, oh, we'll start petting him. I'm like, oh, do you got some food to give him? She's like, yeah, I donated. She gave me a treat. The cow ate it. It was wonderful. And then I forget how. I'm pretty trash at this point. But still, in control of my vices, and I meet these three sisters that are out for one's birthday, the eldest, smoking hot. And they're like, oh, you don't know how old she is. But I'm willing to, maybe in her 40s, but just one of those gals, it's like you would never be able to guess how old they were. She's smoking hot. She had braces, which made her look super cute. And we went to this kind of jazz bar, and her other two sisters, one was super trash. The other, they're protective of each other. They're just out there, and they just invited me into their crew. And Bernice, I believe, was the gal's name. And we're dancing together. She's helping me with the steps, 1, 2 forward, 1, 2 back, swinging, and just just helping this blubbering drunk white boy find his dance moves. And she spoke Spanish, spoke a little Spanish together. Why not? Por qué no? And it was such a good time. We ended up leaving, hopped in their Jeep. They're like, oh, we're going to go to Taco Bell. I just got a burrito. I went outside and peed on a tree while we're waiting, got the food, went to their hotel. And I wasn't trying nothing. They shared a bedroom. One of the sisters was plastered, and the oldest one was like, oh, let you, we'll bring you downstairs. I was like, I'll get my Uber back to my Airbnb. And we're just sitting there chilling, talking, and got a little peck, a little a quick, just a little mwah. Nothing big. I'm a gentleman, gosh darn it. And it was just nice being able to hang out with cool people, learn how to dance a little bit better, and got in the lift with Mario and homeboy straight from Mexico. Spoke very little English. I was like, it's all good. No. Maybe it was Portuguese. Portuguese. Lo siento. Look at me, just culturally, just assuming Spanish, Portuguese. What's the difference? No. This guy, I spoke Spanish to the best of my ability, and he spoke Portuguese, and like our mixed, his tentative grasp on the English language, along with mine, we were able to have something of a conversation, and it was cool. We just shot the shit. Eventually, with about 5 minutes left, I was like, okay, I'm too tired, too drunk. I'm gonna stop trying. And we just had a nice, comfortable silence all the way back. Got back to the Airbnb. It was dope, and a successful evening. Went to bed at about 2:30. Woke up around 8 and was one of those instances where not nearly enough sleep. I was able to wake up and just like, all right, got some energy. Any more than that, your body's like, okay, let's rest. And then you're just dog shit the rest of the day. I just hit that sweet spot, that Goldilocks sweet spot of not enough sleep to where your brain thinks, oh, we had sleep. I could feel my brain was like fuzzy the rest of the day. Went to trivia. That's when I saw all the boys, all the gals there. It was fantastic. Oh, man. The night at the Napa bars. It was awesome. Let's see. Baby cow. Yeah. Home. 2 3. Blah, blah, blah. Man, what to do next? I do want to go to a zombie crawl in Reno on the 20th or the 21st, but silly cousin Chad is going to have his birthday on that day. So I think I'll do that. There's a Halloween pub crawl in Sacramento I'm going to be going to. But we will see what November brings, because these little trips, these little outings have been super fun, and I just can't recommend anybody else. Going out, it's not a new thing, but if you're got nobody else to go with and you're too scared to go by yourself, go and do it. Allow yourself to be open to this experience, and people wear something wacky. Like it was the PlayStation shirt was such a conversation starter. It just made things so much more easy, along with being intoxicated. But I'm just a social person, and sometimes I'm like get in my own head. I'm like, I don't want to talk to anybody, blah blah blah. This is one of those times where it's like anybody and everybody, let's have a conversation. And speaking about that, this Vikings shirt, anytime I wear Vikings attire, it usually gets some kind of a cheer or a jeer, but it's all in good like humor. It's the Vikings, you know. And I go to Winco today, and usually I would go to Winco or any grocery shopping. I'm like dialed in. I'm gonna go get my stuff. I'm gonna get out. I got stuff to do. Even if I see someone that maybe I'll know, somebody I know, I'm like, okay, maybe they don't see me or whatever. I just want to get on with my day and just keep going. And this dude, this rather stocky guy, this black dude with glasses on, and he's like, oh, you from Minnesota? I'm like, no, but like just gave him the story. I became a Vikings fan, and we're walking down the aisle. We get to like the produce, and we just like, oh, this guy's down to have a conversation. He just started getting deep, and like we just started shooting the shit. Like, oh, you in the military? Like, he complimented. I exercise quite a bit. I run, and he's like, oh, what do you do? We're just like, is this guy hitting on me or whatever? I'm like, this is an honest enough conversation. It seems weird because people just don't have conversations with absolute strangers. He was telling me how he spent 19 years at San Quentin, and then he decided to like become an entrepreneur with his own business. And it was just like telling him about what I'm into, like what I'm trying. I'm like, man, what's your name? His name's Al. Al is a dope dude. He and his wife are on their own business, and it was a conversation. He was just one of those rare souls that was just down to have a conversation for the sake of having a conversation. Completely sober. Completely, utterly sober. We had this talk. We had this conversation. We had this cool connection. It just seems so out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting to have talk about expectations. I wasn't expecting to have like it was at least 15 minutes. 10-15 minutes of just sitting there and talking, and like I didn't try to hurry it up. Oh man, I gotta go. If I was in a legit hurry, I'm like, hey man, I'm sorry, I gotta get going. But it's like, screw it, why not just practice the art of having a conversation? And I felt my soul meter increasing again, randomly, a random happenstance chance of some guy who just wants to have a conversation with people. And this whole stranger danger, don't talk to people suck in the world, what have you. What if someone is one conversation or hey, how's it going away from having a better day, of having that human interaction? Is it so scary? Like some people, maybe they're just not in the mood, they'll blow you off or whatever. You don't need to be salty about it. And I was just open to having a conversation with the guy, and it was really good. I was like, wow, when's the last time I just talked to a stranger, not in a drinking environment or just in life? And this guy was about it. He's like, this is what it's about. Yes, there's business, there's success, whatever. He helps people build their businesses. And he said what it's about is conversations. And I found that's what I love most about podcasting is I'm having conversations. I haven't had a guest on in a while. I need to get on that. I got people in mind. Don't you worry, sliders. I got people in mind. I got people in the queue. And just having a conversation. Conversations are valuable. They can change your mind, especially if you have people of a different opinion about something. Conversations can help grow in understanding, and it helps your soul grow a little bit more as well. I felt mine growing, and it was just so cool because I can't remember the last time a stranger struck up a conversation with me. I wasn't inciting it, but I wasn't gonna just keep walking. Like, yeah, get the hell out of here, guy. It was awesome. So Al, if you're out there, hope you had a great day. Hope you found what you needed in the aisles of Winco. Shout out to Winco. And in the vein of conversation, I have not done a quote of the pod in some time, and this is the from Billy Bishop, the New Dictionary of Thoughts. What this is, you find a word, and the word underneath it has a handful of quotes regarding that word. And today's word is conversation. What do we have here? Oh, before that, controversy. Ooh, conversation, the very first one. It is good to rub and polish our brain against that of others. Montaigne. 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 It is good to rub and polish our brain against that of others. Iron sharpens iron, baby. How about another one? Americans cannot realize how many chances for mental improvement they lose by their inveterate habit of keeping up 6 conversations when there are 12 in the room. Ernest Dimmitt. Whatever. The first ingredient in conversation is truth. The next, good sense. The third, good humor. And the fourth, wit, by Sir W. Temple. All right, one more. By Swift. One of the best rules in conversation is never to say a thing which any of the company can reasonably wish had been left unsaid. Not bad. And so there isn't a wild art of conversation. I have some with Kit Kat over here. Got her. Boom, Kit Kat. Here she is. Finally. Purr into the mic. Oh, yes. Deny me. Claw me. Skin me alive. But have a conversation. I challenge you. Here's your homework. I have not given you guys any like tap assignments. Have a conversation. Call somebody. Start with somebody you know. In the phone or in the car, I will call up, say, Skylar. I used to do it all the time leaving from San Francisco. He'll do the same. You got a place to go. You got time to kill. Call somebody. Waste their time. But have a conversation. Just talk. Talk to your mom, your brother, sister, whoever it is. Somebody you know. Call them up. Go have a beer. Or the next level, talk to a stranger. Be like, hey, how's it going? However that may be. Or at least start by saying, hey, how's it going? How's your day? Did that in Target. There's a worker, he's walking, kind of looking around, head down, usually just go forward. I waited a little too long, but I was like, how's it going, buddy? He's like, oh, hey, how are you? Saw a smile, because it's me. I'm perfect. I'm amazing. I'm radiating great vibes that just enraptured him. But start by saying, hey, how's it going? How are you? How y'all doing? Whatever it is, talk to people. Because there's not enough conversation. We're stuck in our own ways and thinking that people are poopy. They're not. A lot of them are, but by and large, I think there's a lot more good people in the world. So stay present, stay within yourself, but outside of your comfort zone. And if that's talking to people, you're going to feel a lot better. Yes, it's going to be a little uncomfortable, but once you start talking, you're like, oh my God, you love SpongeBob? I love SpongeBob. You got a cat? I got a cat. Sometimes I try to say, oh, yeah, oh, you have a cat? Well, I have the best cat in Yellow County. The cutest, most adorable little kitty. Little Kit Kat, who's chilling right here. I love you. I love you. Yes. And as I'm spewing all this goodness, let me just put a nice bow on this and say, f*** you, Byron White, of Byron White LLC. I think it's Brian White, what I've been told, whatever. He says, don't make it a thing. Guess what, motherfucker? The tap gonna be a thing, but I feel like that'd be such a great tagline for the tap. Don't make it a thing. Well, guess what? The tap, it's a thing. I want you guys all to go out there and do your thing. I love you. Thanks for listening. Kit Kat and I appreciate it. Bye-bye.
You lose! Good day, sir!